Okay, hello everybody. My name is Tanya Sheldon, and I am so thrilled to be able to bring to you a dear friend, someone I've known for almost 13 years, someone I respect and trust. She saw the beauty in the products of activation way before I did, and now I get to call her a friend and also a teammate. And she is a walking, living testimony of what the Mediterranean lifestyle can do for you and your health and how you can have quality of life. And we wanted to bring it to you now at a time when our focus and a lot of the talk is about our GLP-1 activator coming to market. What we don't want is for you to lean on that to be your only answer to healthy living. We want to equip you in all ways, and we want to make sure that while you're taking the GLP-1 activator and our other activators to get your body to do what it's meant to do, that you're also treating your body with care and love in other areas. And one of the most fundamental areas is nutrition. So Joanne Shearer Parkin, MM, MS, RDN, is a registered dietitian and master level nutritionist with over 40 years of experience in multiple practice settings, including 15 years as a certified diabetes educator. So you're going to want to listen to her. Joanne is known as a trendsetter dietitian, having been at the forefront of numerous trends in nutrition and dietetics. Joanne is now at the forefront of another trend in nutrition, nutrigenomics and activation. So with that, Joanne, I cannot wait to hear from you. Teach us about how you, and just so you know, you guys, she is 75 years young, and she will tell you what this lifestyle and being activated has done for her biological age. I can't wait to hear that too. So
Yes, thank you. Hey, thank you so much, Tanya, for inviting me on today. Yes, it's one of my passions is the Mediterranean diet. I actually first heard about, or I would say first really kind of launched in my own personal walk with the Mediterranean diet when I was employed as a head dietitian at a cardiovascular hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And all my career as a dietitian, nutritionist, I always tried to, always have my nose in the science and in the new research and know what the new trends are. And when I went to the hospital, I just like buried myself in research at the National Library of Medicine, researching like what is the very, very best diet for reducing mortality and disease from cardiovascular disease. And I found the Mediterranean diet. And at the time, the dietary pattern that was being promoted by the American Heart Association was the low fat, low cholesterol diet. So this was like a big, kind of revolutionary idea that we tell people to eat all this fat in the Mediterranean diet. So what I found in my research is that the Mediterranean diet definitely was the diet to reduce your mortality from cardiovascular disease, but from diseases in general. And two reasons why. Number one was it was the best diet for lowering oxidative stress. And then number two, it was the best diet for lowering inflammation. Well, no brainer, right? So what I did then when I was at the cardiovascular hospital, there wasn't a Mediterranean diet pyramid or diagram or something that could tell people how to eat. So I designed my own. I'm the inventor of the Prairie Mediterranean diet. And so remember, this is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is the Midwest. And 70% of our patients were farmers. So I had to figure out how to get these farmers to eat a Mediterranean diet. So I did what I did was incorporated some traditional foods from the farm. I grew up on a farm in South Dakota. And so what I did was then I designed my own eating guide, and it was this puzzle. And I actually had our hospital actually produced like real puzzles where, it was kind of a whole fun. It was a fun time. I mean, it was wonderful. Actually, as a result of my peri-Mediterranean diet, I got invited all over the country to speak about this because not a dietitian. I was the first dietitian in the country to actually introduce this Mediterranean diet in a hospital. So then now, that was 2000. 9 years later, Old Ways Preservation Exchange Trust, they came out with a Mediterranean diet pyramid. And so this is what now I think what most people use for depicting and giving you an idea of Mediterranean diet and how to actually start with planning your meals, which if you look at the base of the Mediterranean diet, which is really terrific. I love this because it talks about being physically active and enjoying meals with others. And so a big part of Mediterranean eating is socializing and social aspects of food. I think we miss out on that in the United States a lot about that. That food is something that you savor, that you linger over. You know, there they take an hour or two to eat and they just slowly just savor their meals and linger over their meals. So what is the Mediterranean diet? There's not really one single like Mediterranean prescribed diet because it's very diverse, and it's really not like a diet like you go on eat like going on a diet. Now it takes into consideration all the different cultural patterns within the Mediterranean area. You can see it's a lot of countries around the Mediterranean Sea that you would not think of as being Mediterranean, like Turkey, and of course Syria. These are more Middle Eastern, but there's a lot of crossover, a lot of similarities between Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cooking. You'll see that as we go along. Now, why the Mediterranean diet? It's the most scientifically validated diet to prevent and treat chronic disease. That's bottom line. It's the healthiest diet you can eat. I mean, the research on it is just unbelievable, without a doubt, the very, very best diet. And I said, number one, why? Because it reduces oxidative stress, inflammation, reduces insulin resistance, improves gut health and in your immunity, increases longevity. It's the most potent, powerful NRF2 activation diet. There's good research on there showing that as well, that it's a NRF2 activation diet. NRF2 is this powerful anti-aging pathway in your body. And isn't that a good thing? And so maybe I'm thinking that's a good reason why I'm aging so well and healthy. So all the benefits are just go on and on. And one of them that we're kind of really targeting in with our company and with LifeVantage right now is weight management. And of course, they say that this is from about 4 or 5 years ago, more effective. The Mediterranean diet is more effective than a low-fat diet in weight loss for overweight and obese individuals. Well, now new research has come out showing that the reason why it could be more effective would be that the Mediterranean diet is very powerful at increasing an anti-hunger hormone in your gut called GLP-1. And GLP-1, in this particular study, the Mediterranean diet was more effective at increasing that GLP-1 hormone than a high-fiber vegetarian diet. They both did increase some of the GLP-1 hormone, but with the Mediterranean diet, you had a secondary peak of GLP-1 later, because usually this GLP-1 hormone is released from your small intestine in response to food. When you eat, about 30 minutes to an hour later, you're going to get this GLP-1 hormone that's going to tell you that you're full. But with the Mediterranean diet, there was a second wave of production of that GLP-1 hormone. So that is really wonderful news. And now I feel I'm like, wow, this is why with type 2 diabetes and being overweight and obesity, now it's starting to fit together as more research comes out about GLP-1. Now let's drill down a little deeper and let's look at specific foods within the Mediterranean diet that help to specifically increase that GLP-1 hormone. Those are polyphenol-rich foods, your greens, green tea berries, pomegranates, healthy fats. This is huge, especially like your extra virgin olive oil, avocados. In the nuts and seed categories, pistachio nuts. How about that? Who would have thought, right? There's another category, soluble fiber. That's oats, barleys, beans, lentils, some fruits, and some vegetables. These soluble fibers are kind of more like sticky gummy fibers. They absorb the water in your stomach and they delay gastric emptying, kind of a lot like GLP-1 does. That's what GLP-1 does. It delays and slows down your emptying of your stomach. Then there's some specialized fibers called prebiotic fibers. And the foods that are high in those are garlic, onions, apples, asparagus, green bananas. And in the protein category would be eggs. Now, when you look at this, and as we go through today, and as I go through all the foods and meal planning and everything in a Mediterranean diet, you go, wow, 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 I need to eat more Mediterranean to get more of this GLP-1 hormone. Now, I'm giving you some examples of some meals that I prepare for my husband and I. I call these my GLP activation meals. They're Mediterranean meals is what they are. And you can see my breakfast there with avocados and the eggs and sourdough spelt bread that I make myself. Yum, yum, yum. Here is some red lentil soup with some little whole grain kind of trucker chips things. I have my salmon and my vegetables for dinner. Also very high fiber. Fiber is another key. Fiber is key. Fiber in general. You should eat a diverse amount of fiber and different fiber foods. That's another key to weight management and also increasing that GLP-1 hormone. Now, I'm going to show you a few slides and pictures. This is going to be the fun part. Jim and I went on a food and culinary tour in Sicily, and it was with Old Ways, and it was all about teaching us about the Mediterranean diet. I got credits as a dietitian for going there. Isn't that cool? My husband is a professional photographer. And so they took us to these food markets in Sicily. And I can tell you, it was just awesome. And so this will give you just a good overview of like, what do they eat in Sicily as far as a Mediterranean diet? They ate a lot of seafood, more fish, lots of fish, more fish, lots of fish. So number one is increasing the amount of seafood in your diet. Of course, fatty fish is the best, like salmon, sardines. I discovered these really great sardines at Costco. I don't know if anybody else has discovered those, but they're yummy. One can of those, little can of those sardines will give you about half of your omega-3s that you need for the whole week. So there you go. Food tip number one. And these food markets had the most beautiful, wonderful, fresh fruits and vegetables. It was, oh man, I just want to go over there and start chowing down. They look so attractive. Look at this. It's unbelievable. The citrus, beautiful, berries, olives, nuts and seeds, grains, whole grains. So we really got just a good introduction about the Mediterranean diet just by going to these fresh food markets. Nuts and seeds, you can see this is the basis of the diet. So what I'm going to show you next is what's in my pantry. Okay, like Tanya said, I'm really try to eat this way, the Mediterranean way. And so what's in my pantry? So the next few slides is just stuff I've pulled out of my pantry to show you what I eat at home. So when it comes to your pantry, eating the healthy fats. Now I have extra virgin olive oil, some avocado oil. Yes, coconut oil is not in the Mediterranean, dietary pattern, and it's from the Polynesian part of the world, and tons of great research on coconut oil and how it's antiviral, antibacterial, how good it is for your brain. I consume coconut oil to boost my brain health. So the other thing you want to think about when it comes to your oils and fats and oils is your salad dressings. I want you, when you're done here today, I want you to go to your refrigerator, your pantry, and pull out any bottled salad dressing you have and read what is the first ingredient. 99% of the chance the first ingredient is going to be soybean oil. That's a seed oil. That is very highly processed. It's pro-inflammatory. So my suggestion is just throw them out and make your own. It's so easy. You can just see a little shaker bottle like this, 3-to-1. How easy is that? 3 parts of olive oil, 2 parts of vinegar, lemon juice, 1 part sweet. I don't, depend on the sweet. I usually use just a little drizzle of honey in there, Dijon mustard, garlic a lot of times. Just shake it up. So easy to do. Or I'll just throw all the ingredients in the bottom of my bowl and then all my chopped up lettuce and ingredients. I just throw that in the bowl on top and then just toss it up. And you'll have this wonderful, wholesome salad. with some anti-inflammatory fats in there. Excuse me. Now, remember I was talking about fish. Now, it's just Jim and I, just two of us. So I like buying the fish that's packaged frozen and in individual portions. It's so easy, guys. You just pull out the fish. You can just defrost on a little cold running water. Hold on just a minute. Hold on. And so some of my favorite choices, wild cod, mahi, saki salmon. I do, pretty much all the wild caught fish as much as I can. Jim likes shrimp, so we will have once in a while have some shrimp in there. And then you want to think about with the Mediterranean diet, when I showed you all those pictures of all those fresh vegetables. So just kind of think more about making vegetables the center of your plate. Simple things, start each meal with a green salad, try a new vegetable each week, right? And the key to eating more vegetables is your veggie prep. This is what I do. I prep my veggies as soon as I bring them home. And so then it's real easy just to pull them out. We eat beets almost every week. I love beets. Beets are so good for your blood pressure, for your heart, for your eyes. I got to drink another water. Hold on. Okay, now whole grains. Shoot for like 100% whole grain. Oh, is that my red lentils there? My Thrive red lentils? Yes. Lots of steel cut oats and brown rice. And this is it's called forbidden rice. Throw flaxseed and everything. So this is just what's in my pantry. I have some other pantry essentials. Oh, olives. Jim loves olives, which is also Mediterranean. And then choose a nutrient dense high fiber breads. Again, this is my sourdough spelt bread that I make. I make my own like very high fiber nutrient dense pancakes. Jim likes pancakes and make those once in a while. And the thing about sourdough is that fermentation process makes both the carbohydrates and the protein in the bread more digestible. It also reduces what they call phytates, anti-nutrients, and it contains postbiotics. In Life Vantage, we have a postbiotic in our immune health product called Daily Wellness. So you can also get postbiotics by eating sourdough bread. So good for your gut and your immunity. Healthy snacking, we mostly snack on all kinds of different nuts and seeds that we keep in our pantry. Oh, this is another thing we do too. We almost strictly buy the garbanzo bean pasta. This is a red lentil pasta as well. It's super high fiber, part of the Mediterranean diet as well. And then full fat dairy. I recommend consuming full fat dairy. Full fat dairy has been associated with less obesity. It's just when you think about it, low fat dairy products, they're processed. They've taken nature's food and they've messed it up. Just consume it like it comes from the cow, basically. Full fat. My favorite full fat 5% Fage yogurt. We love cheeses, feta cheese, a lot of Parmesan that we use as well. And then, of course, what do you drink with your meals? Well, lots of water, right? But how about a little red wine? This is very, very traditional in the Mediterranean diet. And the Mediterranean region have some red wine with meals. In fact, there's something called the blue zones of cultures around the world that have have high longevity. They live really long lives. And one thing that's common to 4 of the 5 regions is they have a little red wine every day with their meals. Remember, I said a little. 5 ounces for women, no more than 10 ounces for men. And then with your Mediterranean diet, you add 1 little yellow pill a day of Protandim. Remember I said that the Mediterranean diet was the most potent diet at lowering oxidative stress. It's the most potent nerve to activation diet. That's why it's very powerful, that the synergy of all those foods in that diet, they all work together. to activate this anti-aging pathway called NRF2. When you do that, that significantly lowers your oxidative stress. Well, back in 2012, I was introduced to Protandim by a cardiologist, and actually 2011 was. And when I saw the research on Protandim, that it would lower that oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. What the perfect complement to the Mediterranean diet is Protandim NRF2. It's all going to work together in synergy. The ingredients in Protandim, the 5 herbals, they do that. They create a synergy and activate that powerful NRF2 pathway. And so, like, Tanya wanted me to talk about, my journey with as far as my health and wellness. And I can tell you that I feel healthier now at 75 than I did at 55. Seriously. I feel fantastic. Now, I started eating more Mediterranean in about 2000. Then I added Protandim NRF2. I love all the LifeVantage products. I take the Tri-Synergizers. I do the Axio drinks, the collagen. And the collagen too. That liquid collagen has given me an absolutely extra boost with my joints, my flexibility, my recovery, because I'm an avid pickleball player. And when I can now, with collagen and the Protandim together, I can play pickleball for 2 hours, get up the next day and go back and do it again. Unbelievable. And also I have had my metabolic health measured here just about 6 months ago. And my metabolic health at 75, my metabolic health is that of a 59-year-old. Okay, so here's secrets to anti-aging right here today. So with that, I just had to close with this one last slide. So Mediterranean diet, which I've been talking to you about, is been rated as the #1 best overall, healthiest diet, best for heart health, best for diabetes, on and on and on. So I hope that today that you're thinking more eating Mediterranean. I hope a little bit my food pantry foods kind of helped you to think about how you can get started. Remember too, Mediterranean diet increases that GLP-1 hormone. So with launch of the GLP-1 activators from LifeVantage, do you see what a great combination of eating all those Mediterranean diet foods, taking your GLP-1 activators? Wonderful, wonderful combination. So with that, I'm going to stop my share here, and I'm going to turn it back over to Tanya.
Thank you so much. That was so valuable, and I cannot wait to share this with people. It just makes sense to me, Joanne, because you hear stories all the time of people that have traveled across seas, and when they're over there, they eat food that is so fresh and they feel so good while they're eating it because of what's available to them. And then they come back here, and it's like such a disappointment to what our diet and our culture has told us that is good for us, and
That's
all
right.
the process that takes place. I'm so grateful that sourdough bread is good for you. So grateful because that is all the rage and it's everywhere. And I love sourdough avocado toast, and I'm just so grateful I can still eat that.
Absolutely. Oh man.
Yeah.
And if you looked at those meals those 3 meals, I mean, that's typically what I eat in a day. And you're going to think, little 105-pound little lady eating all that food,
I just love the one thing I want to ask you though, and thank you for showing us stuff from your pantry, like from Costco and whatnot, because I will go back to this, but because I think that's good for people to see that they can go to Costco and get their resources, eat healthy from there. But what other than that, if somebody says, this is something I want to start with, I want to start this lifestyle, what are some good resources for them to go to get recipes and
Right.
things like that?
Well, I think that the old ways foundation is absolutely the right place to start. They have tons of great resources for people on how to get started, and some simple meals and that kind of thing that you can prepare. So it's just like old ways. SP. I don't know. And let's see. I'll send it to you, Tanya. I should
Okay.
put in the chat. Uh,
Okay.
and so let's see if I can kind of say old ways t .org, I believe it is. Try that. But it's the old ways. I'll put that down here. It's called Old Ways Foundation. Let me see if I can spell that right. Foundation. There we go. And if you go and just search, do an internet search for the Old Ways Foundation.
Okay.
Personally, like what I do now is there's so many great recipe sites out there. And I just go to different recipe sites and type in Mediterranean recipes.
Okay.
So you'll find just there's tons out there on the Mediterranean diet and a lot of recipes. So I have I have this very kind of sophisticated, fancy Mediterranean cookbook, but it's too complicated. I like to keep it simple.
Yep. Don't we all?
Just
Yeah.
like, look at the foods in the Mediterranean diet and just stock your pantry and, your refrigerator with those foods. And
I
then,
guess that's the best way to start anything, right? Like go to a source like Old Ways Foundation, find
yes.
a couple recipes to start with, see what you like, and then from there it becomes this thing where now you just know what to be stocked with, like you do,
Mhm.
to eat the way that you want to eat. So yeah, it all just makes sense. And it all looks so good. And again,
No.
you are the prime example of it.
I'm going to be going on a 3-week Mediterranean cruise, the Mediterranean and Greek Isles. I can't wait to eat all that great food. So,
Oh, I love it. I love it. Darlene, do you have any questions at all? Okay, awesome. All right.
oh, this has
Well,
been,
thank you, Joanne. I'm so appreciative of your time.
you're sure welcome. Thank you for
Okay.
inviting me. Okay,
Yes,
God bless
have a
everybody.
great
Have a
day.
great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.